In the three principles community, okay, when you are trying to sell yourself, hi Penny, oh, I can see the comments here. Okay, this is great. When you are trying to sell yourself as a product to a, let's say you're going to a company or a business, or me as when I went to the recovery center to sell myself because I was the product, and when you are sharing the principles as your product, people do something that stops themselves from being understood when they want to talk about, well, what do you do? Right? What, like if you ask someone that's a practitioner, well, what do you do? And one of the mistakes they say is they'll say something like, well, I share something called the three principles, or I discuss how we have well-being through mind, consciousness, and thought, and created by a guy named Sydney Banks or something like that. And they get all fumbled up. Okay? It's the wrong way to do it. And I'll tell you why. When you have something intangible, like the principles, right? Like religion, like spirituality, you have to discuss the tangible aspects of it. Now, here's where it gets funny. When you have a tangible product, you actually want to discuss the intangible aspects of it, or the intangible things about it. And I'm going to give you an example, and hopefully it'll clear it up. In the United States, we have an insurance company that's, for the most part, insurance is intangible. Yes, when we say we insure a house, we know what that means, but you cannot see insurance. It's just a bunch of paper. So what do they do in commercials for an intangible thing like insurance? Take a look at this. Do you see this? It says Allstate, which is an insurance company here in the United States. It says, you're in good hands. They just made it tangible, didn't they? They have something called insurance. What is insurance? Well, when you use our insurance, you're in good hands. And they have a picture, literally a picture of hands, which makes it tangible for us. Now, here's what's funny. When we have a tangible item like a vehicle, for example, you guys know this company, Mercedes-Benz? What do they typically talk about? It's a tangible product, a car. They talk about the intangible when they're describing themselves, which is it's luxury, right? It's romantic. It gives you power and strength to be in a classy vehicle like that. Are you guys getting my drift so far? So when we are talking about an intangible thing like the principles, one of the most fundamental mistakes people make is they start going right into the woo-woo of it. Oh, it's, once you learn how mind works, and all of a sudden people get lost. When I went to the recovery center and they asked me, what do I do? I didn't go into the intangibles. They didn't care about the intangibles. I said, by the end of the month, if you guys are evaluating your clients in here, I want 20 to 30% or up to 50% to no longer abuse, use, or come back here again after they spend time with me. That's what I want. I want you guys to have a significant decrease in people using or abusing drugs by the time they're done talking to me. Now, did you notice what I did? I made it very tangible. I didn't say anything about mind. I didn't say anything about consciousness. They would ask, well, how are you going to do that? And I would simply go back to, well, there's some psychological conversations you can have, right? There's these things that we're going to discuss that's based on psychology and mental, things that are based on how we see the world that directly affect their correlation to using and abusing drugs. When you go to a business, what do? I have conversations with clients that can increase the bottom line, whether it's in monetarily or how productivity, and we want to measure it by the end of the month. And if you don't have significant improvements, then you can kick me out, we can shake hands and walk away. right? I want it to be tangible. I don't talk about the principles when I go and help clients out, or when I go to a business, or when I go and talk at or when I'm trying to get hired at a recovery center. I talk about the tangible products. See, that's one of the things. You have to be business savvy. The problem with people in the principles community, many of them are not business savvy. They think because they can simply know about well-being and how it is to be internal, that goes into effect with having a discussion about business with people. When someone comes to my business, I own restaurants. If someone comes to me and is a principles practitioner, an NLP practitioner, or who the hell knows what they are, and they come to me and say, look, by the end of this month, okay, I don't care if he's a dentist, if you use my products, you will increase your revenue by 30%. Do I care if it's the principles? No. So forget about what you think you're going to share. That's the thing. Your shiny object isn't you and the principles and what you think is valuable. The shiny object is them. They are the valuable diamond. So when there's a discussion to be had about them, they are what's important. That's why one of the most fundamental issues people have when they want to go to a business is they say, well, how do I share the principles? Well, you've got it all wrong. If you already think about how to share the principles, you're not thinking about who? Them, the person in front of you. That's the person that you need to be discussing. And how you know what's going to be valuable for them. You already know about the principles. You already know how to discuss it. But they may be asking you, I'm having issues with my coworkers. I can help you with that. Many of our clients are in their heads about how to make more money for our business, and I don't know how to get this through to them. I can help you with that. We have clients that are abusing substances, and and we want our recovery center to have a higher amount of success rates. Oh, I can help you with that. That's the initial part of creating a sustainable relationship, which creates a sustainable business. That's the start of it. That's just a very, very 101, like education that would be extremely valuable if you brought that into anything, whether it's one-on-one clients, brick and mortar clients, whether it's to a community, to whatever it is, whether it's a talk, whether it's whatever it is what do they need and how can I resolve it without talking about the principles and with making it tangible, giving them percentages, giving them things that they can tangibly see would make a difference in their business, in their one-on-one coaching. By the end of our sessions, you should get X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm shooting for. Now, does that always happen? No, because during our sessions, when I have one-on-one client sessions, something else happens in their world that would be like, you know what, the thing I came for is to increase my revenue, my business for 30%, but I ended up having the best relationship with my wife. That's invaluable. How can I sign up with you again, Amir? So don't be overly concerned. The main thing is, though, is that when you're with a client, they want to see something of value. That's tangible. You're bringing in an intangible thing to create a tangible outcome. Many people in our community don't know that. They think, again, like I said, right? It's woo-woo for them, and they think woo-woo is going to be it. Now, there are people that go to church for the woo-woo, right? What do you think all those biohackers are doing when they're saying meditation? We can, studies have shown that by using our app, you can increase your, Zen-like state up to 40%. A lot of these things are basically getting less out of your mind, right? Being in a flow, being in the moment, and all the stuff that we already know in the principles, but they've quantified it and they've tangibilized it. Did you see that word I just used? So people can understand it, and then you end up buying the app. I hope this makes sense. I don't want to go too long on this. Let me see what we got here. This is useful as a musician. You have to relate it to the audience. The rhythm, genre, image, lyrics, beat and groove. It needs a context, not just, there you go. Beautiful. Can you dance to it? That's brilliant. Theo, that's exactly right. Right? When a musician comes in to a record label, the musician doesn't care, well, what kind of beats are you using? He's going to say, look, this is going to be a hit and you're going to make $1,000,000, right? Now, he's going to have to produce the soul of the music. He's going to have to produce the groove and all that. But the producer or the record label, they just give a shit about the money, right? So when this guy says, I'm going to have a hit for you and you're going to make a lot of money, that's all they care about. It's the same respect, Theo. That was a brilliant analogy or brilliant reference. So don't tell people what music you're going to play. Tell them what the music's going to do. And when you get there, just start singing. And if your music is good, people will start to dance. And if you have enough people dancing, they're going to pay you for it. And once they pay you for it, they're going to tell your other friends, you got to see this guy. When he gets on stage, he'll blow your mind. And then you've created a successful start to a business. And on that note, folks, have a wonderful weekend, and I will speak to you guys soon. Okay? Bye.